police department commit, staff were terminated or otherwise left the department.
And that's your news on Rainier Avenue Radio.
On Rainier Avenue Radio.world, look for the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show. I'm Dennis Weaver, your good food guide and host, helping you to feel good and look good, and who wouldn't want some of that? All that and more from the Change Your Food, Change Your Life show on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Stories, songs, and guests. Begin living the organic good food life, and the rest of your life just may be the best of your life. Hose up, baby, to your health.
How would COVID vaccines work in your body? Here are 3 things to know. Number 1, a vaccine is basically a training session for the immune system. Vaccines teach the immune system to look for the key features of a virus. So when a virus does show up, it's ready to fight it off. Number 2, a vaccine gives your body a plan to recognize the virus. Then your immune system starts preparing by making antibodies, or fighter cells, that stay in your blood as protection in case the virus tries to invade. What this means is you get immunity against the disease without having to get sick first. Number 3, when enough people's bodies know how to fight off a virus, it has nowhere to go. That slows the spread. When people get a vaccine, we're able to stop the spread quicker and get closer to ending the pandemic. To learn more, go to covidvaccinewa.org. A message from the state of Washington.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Welcome to Real Estate and Money, a half-hour program on Rainier Avenue Radio.world designed to help you whether you're a buyer, seller, investor, or renter in real estate. Your hosts are 3 local professionals who will escort you on your journey. Violeta Strash, who has years of media advertising and marketing experience and brings this extensive knowledge to John L. Scott Real Estate and all our clients. Tina Lombard, who is a mortgage loan originator with Cardinal Financial with over 28 years of experience, and Elsie Chaudoin, who has over 13 years of experience as a licensed real estate broker. And now here's Violeta, Tina, and Elsie.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate and Money. It is episode 43. Can you believe that? Again, we just passed our 1-year anniversary on the 21st of January. And here we are. We would like to invite you to call in after the show if you have any questions for any of us at 206-717-4490. Again, that's 206-717-4490. And as you can see, each of us have our names and phone numbers on the screen, on each of our screens. So contact us that way. For now, let's start with the housing updates and Elsie.
All right. So the week of February 8th through for the week of February 2nd through the 8th, 2021. All right. In King County, we have available 291 homes at the average price of $967,000. We've sold 369 homes at the average price of $895,000. And in 2020, we've sold 364 homes at the average price of $788,000, which gives us an increase of 13%. Now in Pierce County, we have active 119 homes at the average price of $538,000. We have sold 154 homes at the average price of $512,000. And in 2020, we have sold 173 homes at the average price of $451,000, which gives us an increase of 13%. And in Snohomish County, we have active 73 homes at the average price of $627,000. We have sold 152 homes at the average price of $604,000. And in 2020, we've sold 167 homes at the average price of $542,000, which gives us an increase of 16%. Now, the national average on appreciation from last year to this year has been 6.8%. Now, in the Pacific Northwest, we have doubled that. We've double digits. So in King County, 13%, Pierce County, 13%, and in Snohomish, 16%. So it is a great time to sell. Cash in. Give us a call.
There you go. And so now, we're going to have a fun show for you today, and we're going to start, however, with some really important news on the financial side with Tina, and she's going to discuss different competitive loan offers. Go ahead, Tina.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You're kind of frozen, Tina.
Yes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, right now the
Uh-oh.
All right. Well, maybe we're not hearing from Tina right now.
Can you hear me, Elsie?
I can, yes.
Okay.
So we're having some tough technical difficulties.
All right. Well.
All right. So maybe let's step in and talk a little bit about the different types of home financing. So there is the FHA loan, right? Which allows you to put very minimal percentage down. And this is at the minimum of 3.5% down. There is a VA loan that is specifically for the veterans. There is conventional loan out there. There are portfolio loans. There's hard money loans. There's line of credit. It's endless. Okay. Or you could purchase your home with cash, because cash is king.
Cash is king. And then that gives everyone the flexibility of doing what they need to do when they, turn around and buy their next home. Here she is.
Right. Yay!
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I had to get on Wi-Fi. Okay.
So we kind of just talked about like some of the different loans, and maybe you could just get into the nitty-gritty of each of the loans.
Right. Well, there's the different loans. You've got FHA, you've got conventional, you've got jumbo. But right now, it doesn't really make a difference on the strongest offer. It's the most prepared offer. So a lot of people think, well, if I come in with the highest bid, I'm going to win the deal. Well, not so much. If you do not have your application together and your lender is hesitant on giving an approval, that listing agent is going to be very sensitive. If they're like you, Elsie and V, they're going to know right off the cuff if your lender is bluffing and if that client is not prepared. So I recommend that if you are going to be putting an offer in this market, you need to be completely prepared. And so I'm going to talk to you really quickly about what will make your loan application completely prepared before you make that offer. So we're finding that offers are going anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks, if not 4 weeks at the very latest. Am I correct, ladies?
Right.
Yes.
Yes.
A 30-day close right now is not very competitive, but if you can say I can close in 2.5 weeks, then a lot of times your competitive time frame is going to be a lot more attractive to a seller than to say I'll give you more money, but I'll wait 30 days or 40 days. So the only way to really get an early closing is to make sure that your application is in check and your application is completely solidified. So by the time you make an offer on a home, the only thing you have to do is order the appraisal. So most people, they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, Tina, I want to buy a house and, I don't know how much I qualify for. So what I do is I have them fill out an application, pull their credit, look at their income, do their background check, call up their employers and see how long they've worked, and make sure they are fit as a fiddle and that I have verified everything, including the calculation on their income. Plus, we actually verify bank statements. People say, I got $200,000 put down, and they know. They have maybe $40,000 floating around somewhere, or their down payment depends on grandma giving them money or them taking it out of retirement or them selling properties. That's not liquid cash. So your lender will say, hey, I want to verify your assets. If we're going to be putting $20,000 on the house, let's verify that those assets are not only there, but they are liquid and available. So how many times have we met with clients and they're like, I got $100,000 to put down, but it's in a trust fund in a different country, okay? Or it's tied up in some type of litigation. That's not liquid cash. So you want to make sure your lender wants to make sure that everything that you have is liquid and is ready to go. So one of the first things you want to do is when you do buy a home is that you want to have your assets in a liquid form so that you can put down on a house and earnest money, so on and so forth. Another thing that you want to do is make sure that your employment and your sources of income are verified and they are verifiable. So a lot of people say, well, I own my own business and I make $180,000 a year. Okay. But when I look at the tax returns, they actually make $67,000 a year because they've written everything off. Okay, so that is not really verifiable. But however, if I look at the tax returns and I'm able to look at your K-1s and look at your LLC, your sole proprietorship tax returns and your personal tax returns, and I go through the whole filter and I'm like, yeah, this person actually makes $129,000 a year. That's verified. Then when it comes down to closing, you're going to be squeaky clean. That's going to be easy to verify. Also, if you're a W-2 employee, you want to make sure that you've got at least a month's worth of pay stubs to submit to your lender. Not one pay stub that's crumpled up and thrown at the bottom of your purse or something, and then you unruffle it and show it to your lender. And you'd be surprised how people, they try to take a picture on their iPhone and send me a crumpled up pay stub that's all cornered and, corners are missing and stuff. You need to have your pay stubs all together. You need to have your W-2s together. So a lot of people don't realize that W-2s actually do verify how much you get in retirement and everything else. So we want your W-2s and also your tax returns.
I'm on the air.
Now, not so much in Washington State, but here in Colorado, a lot of people, they give me their tax returns, but they don't necessarily file their tax returns. So when it comes down to closing, they'll say, hey, Tina, yeah, I'll give you 2019, 2018 of tax returns. And I look at that, we verify it. But then we go to pull taxes with the IRS. The IRS says, we haven't seen anything from them since 2012. So make sure that not only do you show tax returns, you have to have filed your tax returns. So many times I have people say, yeah, I filed my tax returns. And we're like, okay, then we order what's called an IRS transcript. And they have never filed their tax returns. They just went to a CPA and made me happy by turning in tax returns. So make sure before you put any offer on a house, and realtors, if you do have clients who are putting large sums, they're buying a house, make sure they have filed their tax returns. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys have been in that situation, but I've been in some serious situations. People are like, oh yeah, I filed it. Yeah, once upon a time, but not recent. So make sure your tax returns are up to snuff. Another thing too is after you do get an approval letter, let's say I approve you for $750,000. That means I looked at your income in that piece of time and your credit, your income, your longevity and your employment, everything else is just perfect. After you go into contract, do not go out and buy any large items like cars or boats or planes or banks. And yes, I've had people buy banks while they were trying to buy a house. What? But yes, boats, or they go out and they're like, well, I have to buy furniture. So they go out and buy $20,000 worth of furniture before they even get a piece of it. Now they're shy $3,000 to bring the clothes. So don't do anything like that. If your loan officer says you're approved, don't change your assets. Don't go out and start getting all these credit cards. Don't go out, don't quit your job. A lot of people are like, yeah, well, Tina, my house is across town, so I quit my job because I'm moving next week. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But don't change jobs. Don't get large sums of money. So if somebody says, oh yeah, I want to give you $5,000 towards closing or something. Don't at the last moment take that $5,000 and put it right to your checking account without telling your loan officer, because that's going to cause a lot of red flags. So the best thing is after you do get an approval letter, whatever state of financial picture you're in, don't change, don't do anything. Just freeze like this. Just freeze, okay? Do not move. Don't change jobs. Don't get out new credit. Don't take money out of the bank. Don't start transferring money from your retirement and CDs and all that stuff. Just freeze. Now, what happens is when you put an offer in on a house, and let's say you win the bid for $826,000 on a home, your loan will close in 2.5 weeks. Rest assured. You'll make your realtor look good. You'll make your lender look good. You'll make yourself look good. It'll close. But when you start changing things around, you start adding things to the mix, and you start, buying stuff and spending stuff, you will not get to close in the time that was promised to you by your realtor or your lender. And what happens is you put your earnest money at risk. So when somebody says you have to be prepared for a home loan offer, you really have to be prepared. You can't say, well, I'm going to get the money in 2 weeks. Well, I'm going to get my second pay stub in 2 weeks. Well, my credit's going to go up 10 points in 2 weeks. Let's just make an offer on this house. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make an offer on a house, do not push your realtor and do not push your lender. You are approved when you are approved. But when you do not wait for that time frame, you will not close on time, and you'll put your money at risk, and you'll just drive everybody nuts. Just drive everybody nuts, and the seller will actually be on the losing end because you've wasted their time. Mm-hmm. So make sure you are just all T's are crossed and all I's are dotted. Make sure you are fit as a fiddle before you make that offer. And realtors, if your client is very impressionable and they're very persuasive, I don't care what they do, unless your lender says they're approved, they're not approved. And if your client says, well, I'm just going to go to another lender, if she can't approve me, go, because they can't approve you either, okay? You're not threatening anybody. The worst thing you want to do is to threaten your realtor and ruin your realtor's reputation and your lender's reputation, right? So make sure you are fit as a fiddle. You are not approved until you are approved, and do everything in your power to stay approved once you get that approval.
There you have it. Thank you, Tina.
You bet.
Great advice.
Okay, here we go on a break. Hit it, Daniel.
Into Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violeta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North, Elsie Chaudoin with Keller Williams Mountain to Sound and the Elsie Legacy Group, and Tina Lombard with Cardinal Financial. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Okay, great. So now we're going to be celebrating what? Chinese New Year next week, correct?
Yes.
There it is. Can you see it? The year of the ox.
Yeah, the ox. Yes. Very prosperous year. So in order to celebrate that, we actually have got the topic of Feng Shui we're going to be talking about today. So would you like to introduce our guest?
Is he there, Daniel? We have Scott Davies coming on board, joining us today, audio only. But let's talk a little bit as we're waiting. Go ahead, Elsie. Let's talk about Feng Shui decorations. Do you have anything you can think of for 2021?
I don't think it's changed. However, I did have a client that told me the reason why he bought this house is because it's on a hillside. It was located on the bottom of a hill. And he says the reason is that the fortune runs down and into his backyard. So I thought that was really interesting. And that's the reason why he bought that lot and that house, because it came downhill and the fortune was coming to him.
That's nice.
That is.
Yeah.
And he actually sold for more than asking price. So it must be true.
Wow. Yes. I've heard of people using that. And I don't know if I mentioned this last year. There was someone, a husband and wife, who came in to look at a home, and the wife was carrying around a little red box to feng shui each room to see if the energy is there. And the husband's talking to the agent going, I don't know what the hell she's doing, but she's the one that's going to decide on the house. So I got to go with it. Yeah. So she came back up from the basement and said she had a headache. She couldn't deal with it. Got to go. She feng shuied that house till it just went away in her mind. But, feng shui, simply the art of harnessing the positive energy that surrounds us and creating harmonious links with nature. And right now we need the relaxation that feng shui brings into our lives, because we're in a world of craziness. And one of the greatest inspirations is the Chinese art of feng shui your home. The elements, the 5 elements are earth, wind, fire, water, and metal, I believe. Yes. And 3 of those I know feng shui me and my heart. Earth, wind, and fire, my number one group. of all time. And let's see, what else can we talk about? So colors are key. The 5 elements and the corresponding colors. Yellow is good because it corresponds to the earth. So reserve it for the rooms where you spend the majority of your free time, like the living room and the dining room. But who has a living room these days? It's more the open concept. So you really don't get a lot of free time to yourself these days, do you? Especially with COVID, we're all in the same space together.
Well,
but you can use it in the kitchen.
Well, I was going to say, for
Yeah.
feng shui, if you have to start, instead of doing all your house at one time, which room is most important? And I think they say the bedroom is one of the most important rooms, and the kitchen. And the bedroom, of course, because that's where you get your rest, your sleep. I mean, things for me, like making sure that your underneath your bed is all clear, making sure that your bed is facing a certain way, making sure you don't have water elements, I think it is in your bedroom. But that gives you longevity, it gives you health, it gives you peace of mind. So that's the place I would start first if you're going to feng shui in your room.
And they say green promotes a feeling of security, so you can find its place in the bedroom, and also symbolizes carnal desire. Okay, that's it. That's all for me.
Where does red come into play?
Red.
Your room for carnal desire. Then we have
red promotes
red.
Dynamism, prosperity, vitality, and of course passion.
Yes.
More
That's
joy and cheerfulness. You what?
That's why I have a low-key red room. I got like red, purple, pink. It's supposed to, ignite
that was
the
in
love
50
light.
Shades of Grey, the red room. That's what you have?
50 Shades of Grey stuff. That's not feng shui.
Oh, okay. But you have the red room.
Wrong show, ladies.
Wrong show. Oh, okay.
Or wrong topic.
Yeah, wrong topic. I was wondering where our friend is. But let's see. And the entryway, that's very important because that's where all the energy comes in, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you want to have it clear, and think about white having the elements of the earth, installing flowers or even a mirror to have that clear effect, because the energy comes in and it's all moving around.
Right. And I've got two food dogs.
Oh, yes.
At my door.
I do too.
See that? Yeah. It's like it's
Chinese dogs. That,
it brings that energy, and it brings that prosperity in.
They're the guard. They guard your home.
Yeah.
From bad forces.
Yeah.
And orange slices.
I have elephants in my house, with the spout up.
Yes.
I'm facing, I have like a creek, like a little river creek behind my house. So it faces the water, so it brings in the blessings of the water.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. My mom had elephants all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So now I understand why.
Yeah.
In the bathroom, let's see. It's also a category of private space. Mm-hmm. And you want natural materials, soft, even pastel shades. And the right lighting to decorate the feng shui in the bathroom. So candles and succulents are good things to have in that room. Let's see, what else can we talk about?
Office is a big thing. There's what does it say? I think it has to do with your personal, when you were born or whatever, but your desk has to face a certain way to bring in prosperity.
Oh yeah. They say never have your back to an open
window. If you have a room
like me, my back is to the door, and I have no choice. I'm in an apartment, so whoever's coming in here to get me,
you're supposed to be looking at
have at it. I'm looking at out the window.
I think your desk is supposed to face west or something like that. There's something about you have to have a wall behind you to ground yourself and watch how people come into you, your doorway, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. But if I have my desk facing west, then a window is behind me, and then that doesn't look good for lighting and Zoom.
Then there's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's that. Yeah, you know what? I forgot. I remember my whole office at home. I feng shui's it out. I even have little food dogs on my desk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I have
You
like
have little-
crystals and
Little guys? Oh.
Yeah, I have
wow.
like little golden food dogs on my desk, in the corners of my desk. Oh yeah.
Okay, so then
Mhm.
for the office, you should probably have blue because that's a reflection of wisdom and represents tranquility and serenity as well. But you want to encourage intellectual work, so you can use it in your den at
That's
home.
Nice. That's nice.
Okay. Well, I guess our friend isn't going to be here, but he was going to talk about how to purify the space to feng shui your home. Just having he's here. Let's have him talk real quick because we're almost out of time. Scott, tell us about purifying the space in your home.
Yes, and I was doing a little bit of research, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's super. Yeah, I was having some
Welcome.
browser problems. That was browser and not trouser. So,
Okay.
just want to clarify that. But anyway, yes, smudging is a great way to clear your space and make room for positive energy. And it's, with Chinese New Year coming up, now might be a great time to go and do a little smudging around the house, where you take sage, and quite often say the type of sage is not your cooking sage, of course, but white prairie sage. And you use that, bundles of it, and you go with a little bowl and you light the sage, and you go from room to room, and you welcome positive energy into the little spaces. And I was reading that Buddhists like to use juniper instead of sage. It's a tradition in the Tibetan Buddhist world to use juniper. So it's a great way to really clear a space of. And who doesn't need to clear space in this era of quarantining and all? So it's a great way to create new energy, new positive energy.
That's great.
Awesome. Where do you buy the sage?
You could go to for instance, Tenzing Momo at Pike Place Market sells it, and any of that type of shop that is into different religions or spiritual practices.
Yeah, I think
maybe Chinese herbal.
Yeah, go to a Chinese herbal shop too. Yes, definitely.
East West up there on Roosevelt.
Yep, I was just going to say East West is and I know that they have changed locations too because of all the development happening on Roosevelt.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for showing up, Scott. We've got to run today, and go ahead, Elsie. You want to prep us for next week?
Sure, yes. Well, thank you for listening to us. We are Real Estate and Money. Please get a hold of us at 206-717-4490, or you can call us individually. Next week, we will be talking about staging, and that's it.
You've been listening
I
to
think
Real
we
Estate
got other
and Money.
stuff.
Your
Yeah.
hosts, Violeta Strash, Tina Lombard, and Elsie Chaudoin. For more information, call 206-717-4490. That's 206-717-4490. Go to the Rainier Avenue Radio.world website to find the Real Estate and Money schedule, or tune into our live show every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3. We will help you find your dream home.